Okay, today we're on CTs. I believe this map is called Aquania, and I've never played this map before. So this analysis should be very interesting because the first lap I'm going to be trying to understand how the course layout works and to see if there's any off-road shortcuts. And then in laps 2 and 3, try to take those shortcuts and use them to my advantage, right? So I basically want to do this course because I never played it before. Because I know there's a lot of people who are new to CTs or even are experienced in CTs and may not know every single course. I don't know if this course is particularly a popular one or not. I just didn't play it when I was doing this race my first time. So if we continue a little bit ahead, you'll see that we see the first set of vinyl boxes. There's 5 of them right here. So now based off the way the course layout works, which is a straightaway and then you take a turn, I'm assuming that the Toadette and the Mockbite user are going to be going for the 2 inner boxes right here because the straightaway is long enough that it won't affect their lines if they take the ones that are closest to them. So I might have to go for these ones out here and end up going wide. And I have to be careful because carts are known for having big hitboxes and they can break wheelies. They can wheelie bump you and you lose a bunch of speed. It's really difficult to pass carters, but even when they're snaking in straightaways, it's really hard. Let's continue watching. Alright, a wheelie bump happens and I immediately use my red shell. Okay, here's the first mistake. Using the red shell too early and should have waited till after the turn. Here's why. Okay, to me wheelie bumped is whatever. The problem is the item. If you know how red shells work in MKWii, I'll keep it brief, but they break on corners. And they break on corners because I don't know, red shells aren't really smart. They can't take corners turns well, they just break. So red shells are stronger on straightaways. I should have waited till after this turn in order to throw my red shell, because otherwise the red shell is just gonna break on this turn, and even if it makes this turn, look how long this turn is. It won't make the whole thing. It'll eventually break on one of the corners, which is this corner right here, or the next corner, which is somewhere over here. So, and I really want to explain to you guys the multi-purpose item usage. If you want to get the most benefit out of your items, you're gonna have to have multiple benefits from using one item, right? Throughout this race, you're gonna see me now using my items with the intent of having multiple benefits come out of it, right? I could have saved this red shell until this straightaway where I know that there won't be any corners the red shell can break on. Now, I don't know for a fact that there's no ramps here or bottomless pits. I don't really know because I never really played this course before. But I know that there will be some type of straightaway, and that's where I can potentially use my red shell on someone who's been exposed. Alright, so now we know that there's boost panels on this track. Now boost panels mean that using shrooms or using any type of boost is going to be less effective because boosts don't stack on top of boost panels that much or at all. And so it's kind of like if you ever played on Moonveer Highway, you would know that boost panel tracks or tracks with a lot of boost panels tend to be front running because there's not a lot of shortcuts you could take because the boost panel pretty much negates any type of cut you would have to take with a shroom. I get really bumped by Wario, which is okay. Doesn't matter. We're still in the back. Lap 1. Just like the last analysis, I missed the item box. I need to stop missing those, right? Missing this item box, especially when I'm in the back, I need to catch up, was a very, very, very grave mistake. Now coming up, we're going to reach the 30-second mark. And at 30 seconds, which is going to be right now, the shock is now in play. Now, the way the shock works in MKWii is that after 30 seconds, the shock becomes available, and after 30 seconds after it has been used. So we now reach the 30-second mark, and we just passed a set of vinyl boxes, I believe, which were right in this location. So I believe that Peach is probably going to be a contender for grabbing the shock because she's going to pass the set at 30 seconds and she's in the last place. I'm assuming she's going to grab the shock. Now, we can try to get a dodge item in the lowest spot. Right now, we're in 8th place. I think we were able to get a item that can dodge this as a star or bullet bill maybe, or most likely a star. That seems pretty common in my position I'm in. Or I have a golden. Now, I don't know where the best spot to use this golden is. Right? I haven't seen the full lap yet. I don't know if there's any shortcuts I could take with this thing. So far, there has been no shroom cuts I can take because because of the boost panels and the fact that buildings are basically blocking any shortcut I could potentially take. Right? So there's not a lot of shortcuts in this map. Now, in hindsight, I should have used it in this location because it's probably the best location to use the golden shroom, but I didn't know that at the time because I didn't know how the course layout worked, and I didn't know if I would use it here, it would be useless. Now, coming up, we're going to have an interesting mechanic about this course, which is that it has a cannon at the end of the lap. Now, cannons are interesting because you can dodge a shock while in them, right? If the shock happens while you're in a cannon, like right now, the shock will not affect you. Now having this cannon at the end of the course means that more than likely we're gonna have shocks happen before or after cannons to prevent people from dodging. Right, when you're having the shock, you want to prevent as many people as possible from dodging it. So you want to wait till everyone's after cannons or everyone's before the cannon so that you have the most amount of benefit from using the shock. Now I want to use it right after this cannon exit since it's the end of the lap, and I now see that this is basically the core, so I'm going to use it right now because I just need to catch up. But then the shock happens. Now, if you're paying attention, you'll notice that we have two dodgers. We got Peach, which I'm assuming which was the shock user. She used the shock. And then we got me user right here. Now, the me user, I don't think has a shock because, first of all, he was already in a dodge. We hear the star in the background right here. He was in a dodge. But there's no set of item boxes before the canning, meaning that if most people like to use the shock on a item set because they want to use it and then chain it with another item. Chaining basically meaning use an item before you hit another set of item boxes so you can get another item. So there's no set of item boxes before the cannon. This guy, I don't think he used it right before the cannon. There's no way he would use the shock in this particular location. Now the Peach that used the shock doesn't get a lot of usage out of it because she ends up being stationary for an extended period of time. Maybe her controller DC'd. I don't really know. But as you see, she stays there for an extended period of time. Now, keep note at what time the shock happened, right? Keep a note, because I'm going to stop when the shock can become available again. Let's see if you got it right. Okay, got triple shrooms. Now, since I know this course is filled with a bunch of boost panels, I want to use these shrooms in between sets of boost panels so that I got a consistent stream of boost going, right? I want to have speed as long as possible so I can catch up to players ahead of me. Now, I almost ran into that banana. I went wide here because of the way I was lining up for the turn. I didn't go wide specifically because I was thinking I was going to be back spam on this blind corner, but it didn't really matter what I was thinking. I did the smart choice here and went wide to prevent myself from hitting that banana, as you saw. I'm kind of used that shroom a little bit too early. I should have waited till after the boost from the boost panel was fully finished and then use my shroom to get a longer stream of boost going. That guy going backwards? Alright, we're stopping, and I don't know why, because it's 120, that's 30 seconds since the shock was used, so the shock can now be in play again. Now, we have, I guess, 3 possible people that could obtain the shock. The set of item boxes are right here, I believe. So, we have Toda and Luigi stacked on top of each other. These people might have hit the item box before 120 or exactly after 120. I'm not really sure, so I'm not going to say they might have a chance of grabbing it. But I think they might have passed this set of item boxes before 120 actually hit. So I'm assuming Peach is probably gonna grab it again. And we can also predict the shock might happen before and after a cannon because you want to prevent people who use the shock want to prevent as many people from dodging. Alright, I used this last shroom to chain. I get another shroom. Now, in hindsight, I should have chained this shroom in the next set of item boxes because we're in a bunch of boost panels and the shroom can't really be used for any shortcuts because there's no shortcuts on this course. There wasn't nothing there we want to talk about, but after this cannon, the shark happens again. So it happens in the same location, and this time we got 3 dodgers, I believe. So there was this green me user behind me that dodged the shark. We also got Toadette that dodged the shark, and Peach that dodged the shark. Now I'm assuming Peach was the one that used the shark again because she's in the back and she's using it. I think she chained it or something. So we got 3 dodgers. A blue shell came into play, and we're in lap 3 in 3rd place. What I need to focus on is solidifying my position by throwing out back spams such as bananas or green shells over blind corners so that I could slow other races down. I could keep my position in 3rd place. Also keep in mind of when the shark was used, because you know after 3 seconds the shark could potentially be in play again. Alright, I'll go white again just in case if there's another banana here, which there was, because I don't think it was, no one hit it from last lap. So me going white again because just in case the banana wasn't actually, no one hit the banana, was a good idea. I get Willy Bump and I get sent flying and lose a bunch of speed, and a bunch of people pass me. Now this could potentially be avoidable because if you were paying attention, I could have been, oh, this is too far ahead. Here? Right. Now I could have been looking behind to see that Wario was boosting behind me. If I saw that, I might have dropped my wheelie to prevent myself from getting bumped as far as I did. Now, if you're paying attention, Wario does a little noise when he's in a boost. Far ahead. Okay. Like, pay attention to Wario. You hear him. You heard him. He does some yelling and makes noises when he's in a boost. So that should have been a cue for me to be careful. Maybe drop my wheelie because I might get bumped as far as I did right here. And all the bananas I had basically go to waste. Okay, Mega Mushroom, excellent. I spam it immediately though, which is really bad. Now, first of all, we're approaching the 220 mark, in which another shot could potentially be obtained again, and I can use the Mega Mushroom to dodge this shock if it does happen. You know, there's already been 2 shocks in this race. The 3rd shock won't be so surprising, right? I use it immediately here, and you finally realize that I didn't get multi-purpose usage out of it, right? Think about it. If I could use this Mega Mushroom to run over other racers and also dodge the shock, therefore slowing other racers down and having me pass positions because they're small and they have slower speed. But using the Mega Mushroom here, I don't even get to pass the 2 racers in front of me because we're right next to a bunch of boost panels. Alright, we're now in the 220 mark, and we can now assume that a shock will not be in play. Now, we can assume that the shock, wait, was it 220? No, I think it was 212. 212 wasn't the shock was in play. My apologies. So, well, if you caught that, you're good job. So, 212 wasn't the shock was available, and I believe we had a Funky back there. I counted it. All right, so Funky fell off right after 212, so he might have it, right? Or the green me user that's right here. I don't know if you've seen it, but he could have it as well. Alright, so the next set of item boxes is where I'm at right now. So the item box is right here. We could expect a Funky to chain right here. So I should have held it until Funky or the green me were close to the set of item boxes right here, so that I can dodge and therefore get a higher position most likely. So I'm going to keep the line right here so we can see what happens. This is a smart play by Peach right here. Alright, so Funky changed the shock, and we have a dodger named Kitty Cat. Excellent job, Kitty Cat. She predicted and read this Funky like a book. Now, she activated her start earlier just in case the green me actually had the shock. And turns out Kitty Cat ends up winning the race in 1st place, so good job. Now, the reason she started her dodge item, which is the star earlier, was because she didn't know if Funky or the green me user had the shock and they're going to chain out this at item boxes, right? The line represents what item boxes are. Alright, Green Me's getting close, so Peach is now gonna activate the star, right? So she's assuming the Green Me user, which is right here, or the Funky user have the shark, right? So let's see what happens. After when Green Me gets close, Peach immediately activates the star, right? You see it in the bottom right corner. She immediately activates the star because she doesn't know if the Green Me user has it or Funky has it. Okay? Okay? Okay, Green Me doesn't have it. Green Me doesn't have it, but the duration of the star is long enough that Funky's gonna be able to pass the set. And then he changed the item. And Peach dodges. Now, I could have dodged as well, right? My retros I had basically go to waste because the shock happens. And I know 3 shocks in one race is unlucky. I could, you know, especially in worldwide, you want to risk it all for the first place. Because you really have nothing to lose. You got to practice being able to take risk and not play it safe unless you're in a clan war FFA where things are a little bit different. But in worldwide, you always want to aim for winning a race. This race was winnable. The person who dodged the shock, which was Kitty Cat, ends up getting in first place. I could have been in the top 3 spot if I have dodged the shock by holding the Mega Mushroom and not using it in that place that I did. Because when I used it in the place that I did, we're right next to a bunch of boost panels, so therefore I wasn't able to gain up on anyone due to my extra speed with the Mega Mushroom because everyone was already on boost panels. I end up getting a star, which doesn't really matter that much since we're at the end of the lap and end of the race, and we won't be able to pass anyone with it. Now, in hindsight, I noticed that there were a lot of players that ended up going on the off-road right here. Now, if you don't know why, it's because on some CTs, sometimes you the finish line kind of gets extended to the sides, and sometimes you can go on the off-road to finish a race because it's faster than theoretically crossing the actual finish line. Now let's go back and let's look at this. I think we're too far ahead. Nope. Oh, right here. Watch. See, we have a lot of people here. We got 2 people right here and another one going towards the off-road. Because the off-road crosses the finish line because the finish line extends pretty far this way. So it's actually faster to go on the off-road and finish the race rather than going with where I did and cross the actual finish line. Even if I did that though, I don't think I would have been able to pass anyone though. But it's just something to keep in mind. Some courses and CTs have it that you can go off the rails on the last lap, like die, but you cross the finish line right before you die or fall off the track, so it counts as finishing the race. This a lot of CTs have this type of mechanic. You see, Kitty Cat's getting first place because she dodged the shock and read the mind of Funky by a book, but she also she knew her duration was going to last long enough that she could check 2 people if they had the shock. Now, also, how does she know the shock was going to be used at that specific chain? We're going to have to go back and see why. Alright, this is lap 3, right? This is after the shock, I believe. Alright, so let's go back to where the shock actually happens. The 220-ish, I think is when it happens. Alright, so if you think about it, the shock was used in after the cannon both times, right? The shock was used after majority of racers were past this cannon, while some are barely just entering the cannon. Okay, now the Funky knows that this is probably one of the best spots to use a shock after a cannon or some sort because there's no items before or after the cannon, so it's probably the best place to gain on people. But Funky, who ended up having the shock, can't use the shock at that area because it's at the end of the race, so most racers are gonna go straight to the off-road and end up winning and just finish, right? Funky can't do that. If he wants to end up getting as high of a spot as possible, he has to get another item after the shock, right? He needs to get a bullet bill or something, so he's gonna chain it and hopefully he gets a bullet bill or a star or something to catch up that ground that he lost, right? This is probably the best place to use it right here because using it here, chaining it here, most of the races are gonna be done with the race by the time he gets there, so he has to chain it right now. So Kitty Cat knew that Funky wasn't gonna be able to chain it where everyone's near the cannon. So I'm gonna chain it right now because it's the last lap and it was gonna be done by the time I chain the next set on the boxes. And that's exactly what he did. Now My item usage in this course was pretty bad. Now I didn't go delving into lines in this analysis because I don't think lines matter that much for what I'm focusing on, which is item usage. I still have poor item usage. I could maybe focus on lines and maybe in another video, but lines do in fact matter. But since we have a bunch of boost panels and I'm not really good at lines, I have to solely rely on strategic item usage. Now, out of all the items that I use, how many items do you believe I got um multi-usage out of? Zero. There was zero, right? The red shell cracked down the corner, right? Let's go back and see all our items one by one. I think we were here. All right, so we ended up getting a golden shroom. We ended up getting a red shell. We ended up getting triple bananas, triple shrooms, and triple red shells, which ended up going away, right? So we didn't really use our items that well. Didn't use them at all, right? These bananas go to waste. I didn't really think about it. Now the best way. Now I could have won this race if I held the mega mushroom, right? Probably know this, right? I used it immediately right here. Poor choice. It's exactly at 212 when the shock was able to be in play, and I should have waited until maybe this funky or the green meat that was back there gonna chain in at the same item boxes, which are right here on the mini map. Right? I could have won this race just by one item. You see how one item can change the tide of a race in a blink of an eye? Right, we got someone in the dodge as well. Someone in the bullet bill also. Try to predict the dodge. I think he did a little bit too early though, because it ended, and then after it ended, the shock happened. So overall, this is a longer analysis, but overall, I hope you understand that good item usage and be able to understand what players were doing can help you win a race. So if you like what you see, subscribe. Otherwise, don't. Take care.